Germaine de Randamie versus Julianna Pena is a women's bantamweight bout. Germaine de Randamie has hit a record of 9 wins, 4 losses. Julianna Pena has hit a record of 9 wins, 3 losses. Alright, so Germaine de Randamie is currently the second best women's bantamweight fighter in the world. Julianna Pena is the 8th best women's bantamweight fighter in the world. And Germaine de Randamie is currently 36 and a half years old. Julianna Pena currently 31 years old, which means Julianna Pena is going to have a slight age advantage in this fight. Also, Germaine de Randamie is currently 5 foot 9 inches tall. Julianna Pena 5 foot 6 inches tall, which means Germaine de Randamie with that 3-inch reach advantage is going to have the height advantage in this fight. Also, Germaine de Randamie 72.5 reach. Julianna Pena 69-inch reach. Germaine de Randamie is going to have the advantage there as well. Now, if you go on the Tapology and you look on those predictions, 75% are saying de Randamie, 25% are saying Peña, mainly by decision for both of these fighters. The actual betting odds for this fight are minus 120 for Germaine de Randamie and minus 105 for Julianna Pena, so this is a pretty 50-50 fight in my opinion. Alright, so Germaine de Randamie started her career off with 5 straight wins, all inside of Muay Thai. 3 of those wins coming by KO, 2 by decision, and that's where she decided to go pro in MMA. And in her debut, actually ended up losing by decision. Came back with a decision win, followed by a first round KO over Stephanie Weber in Strikeforce. But in her next fight against Julia Budd, who was a former Bellator champion, she ended up losing by unanimous decision. And after that loss, she came back with a decision win over Hiroko Hamanaka inside of Strikeforce. But after that fight, she was actually invited into the UFC, where she had a split decision win over Julie Kedzie. But in her next fight against an absolute GOAT of the MMA scene inside of women's mixed martial arts, she ended up fighting Amanda Nunes, but ended up losing the fight by first round KO from elbows. But she did come back with a second round KO, a first round KO, and a unanimous decision over Holly Holm, followed by a unanimous decision win over Raquel Pennington, and a first round KO over Aspen Ladd. But in her next fight in a rematch against Amanda Nunes in a co-main event for the belt, she ended up losing by unanimous decision. Alright, now let's include her opponent, Julianna Pena. Alright, so Julianna Pena started her career off with a nice decision win, followed by a KO, then 2 more decisions. Then she ended up losing her first fight to Sarah Moras by decision. And then her next fight she lost as well by unanimous decision to Deanna Bennett. And that's actually where she was invited onto The Ultimate Fighter Season 18, where she ended up fighting Gina Manzani in her first fight in the exhibition bout, won that by unanimous decision, got another fight against Shayna Baszler, where she won by second round rear naked choke submission, and then she actually ended up rematching Sarah Moras in The Ultimate Fighter Season 18 in another exhibition, where she ended up winning that one by second round guillotine choke. And in the Ultimate Fighter 18 finale against Jessica Rakoczy, she ended up winning that one as well by first round KO. All of those got her into the UFC, got her that contract, and inside the UFC, she ended up winning her first fight in the UFC by first round TKO over Milana Dudieva, followed by a unanimous decision win over Jessica Ai, and a unanimous decision win over Kat Zingano. But in her next fight against an absolute beast in Valentina Shevchenko, she ended up losing by second round armbar. After that first loss inside of the UFC, she came back with a unanimous decision win over Nika Montano. Alright, so as I said before, this fight is going to be very, very close. Germaine de Randamie, as I said, is at minus 120. Julianna Pena minus 105, so this is a very close fight. I am sort of leaning towards Germaine de Randamie just because she has that knockout power. I'm expecting her to get a knockdown in this fight. I'm not expecting a knockout. And I mean, if she does get a knockdown in this fight, that'll probably help her on the scorecards. And I'm thinking this fight's going to go to decision. So I do think if she can get a knockdown in this fight, she could definitely win this fight by decision. I don't see a knockout or a submission from either of these fighters in this fight. I see this fight going all the way. And Germaine de Randamie has fought in so many good fighters in her pro MMA career so far. I do think Germaine de Randamie is going to get the win by unanimous decision. Alright. If you agree, disagree, or have something to say, make sure you put in the description below, and I'll respect to every single one of those comments. Make sure to like, subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss the absolute best MMA content out there. It's been fun, but I'm out of here.